Keep talking. Okay, I can hear myself. All right. Why did God create human beings? The question first came to me when I was 12 years old. I was going through a poor me syndrome. And I was sitting along the Rideau River, and I was crying, and I was asking questions. God, maybe I was asking God, I don't know. Why did my parents treat me the way they do? Why can't I have any friends? My goodness, I was going through such a poor me time, and all of a sudden this cool breeze came by. Oh, how refreshing it was. I could hear the river flow, I could hear the birds singing, I could smell the lilacs, and a thought came to mind. I thought, I know what I have to do. All I have to do is understand all that I can about life. No word of a lie. I got up. I felt good, I felt strong, I was on a mission. That mission has been with me all my life and still today. So I started at a very young age asking myself those deep, deep questions. And that led me to read and read and read. Because I left home at age 13. School was boring for me. I didn't have any use for school, and I started my life at that time. But I read a lot of books. One book was very interesting by, what the hell's her name? You know, with gray hair, memory kind of slacks off a little bit. Vienna Stibble. Vienna Stibble described the process of creation. She did it in a beautiful way. And this is how she did it. The creative essence of all that is, we call it God. That's our nickname for the creative essence of all that is. So we'll just stick with the name God. Decided to create planet Earth. And in that process, he, or God, experienced itself as everything it created. When it created sand, it experienced itself as grains of sand. When it created small fish, it experienced itself as small fish, being eaten by big fish. When he created mosquitoes and bugs, it experienced itself as a bug and being eaten by birds. What a wonderful process. And so it was that it created planet Earth. It took a long, long time. Okay? And once that was done, he said, okay. God continuously expands itself, its capacity to create. So once planet Earth was pretty well done, God created souls. God gave souls many, many gifts, many capacities. God gave souls the capacity to learn, the capacity to think, the capacity to use their memory, the capacity to forget, the capacity to remember, the capacity to decide. And once all of that was in place, God created human bodies. Many different shapes, many different colors, male and females. And once that was done, then each soul chose a body. And once they were in these human bodies, they could reproduce themselves and make more human bodies for more souls to come to planet Earth. But once the souls entered the body, the human body, they forgot completely about God. They forgot all the powers they had been given. But God didn't forget. God's plan was that it would be in everybody's body. And it would experience everything a human body can experience. This is how he created the remaining of planet Earth, the animal world and all that. So that's the first reason. God created human beings so that he could experience itself in every human body, its presence. No wonder every Sunday we say the prayer of protection. I carry it with me. It's just, we know this. I'm not teaching you anything new. The light of God surrounds me. I am one with the light. The love of God enfolds me. We are one with the love. The power of God protects us. We are one with the power. The presence of God watches over us. We are one with the presence of God. We say this every Sunday. Wherever God is, whatever we are, God is. So that's clear to me. That if God is everywhere, or everybody is, God is within us. And God experiences what we experience. And then I ask myself, what about the gloom and doom of the world? Now, there comes a question which is far more complex to respond to than what I just said. That's why this afternoon I'll be doing a workshop to explain the depth of that and how that dynamic actually works. Because it's necessary. The world is a perfect place for human beings to evolve. So this is everybody's purpose. The main purpose is to evolve. And then we each do that our own way. We are in charge of ourselves. And God made sure of that. But he complicated things when he put us all together. Holy smoke. Now, we have to deal with so-and-so's character and so-and-so's character. And how do we do this? Let me tell you, God is having a good time. Because you see, he gave each one of us the freedom to experience life at our own pace, in our own way. That's why God is not there to help us. God is not there to help us be a better person. God is there to experience what we experience. But God's plan in making that happen is huge. Far, far beyond all the things I have just said. God is with us in the silence. This is why we meditate. This is why we reflect. And asking the question, God's assistance. Listen, and believe it or not, there are ascended masters and angels which are there listening to us. They are God's assistants to guide us, and they bring us answers. I know for a fact that when I ask a question, within 2 days, I get an answer. I understand, I find a response to my own question within 2 days. And sometimes it happens faster than that. My goodness gracious. When I focus on God and the divinity of life, the divine presence of God within me, questions come, or answers come a lot faster. I just have to go, close my eyes, go to bed with the question, and I wake up with the answer, sometimes at 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh, I gotta get up and write this down before I forget. I have books of all my thoughts that I wrote through the years. Because, you know, if you don't write it down, come the morning you forgot, what the heck did I dream about? Was it a dream? Perhaps we think it's a dream, but it was really an answer to my question. I see a lot of heads nodding. We all know this, which is wonderful. So, to really appreciate the presence of God within us, we need to go deeper and deeper and deeper to understand the dynamics of that. The dynamics of how we are one with God. What I find amazing is children understand that. I mean, children. I talked to my grandson when he was 4 years old, and I had this kind of talk with him. He would ask me, Papa, what are you writing about? And I would say to him what I just said to you. And he said, all right, that makes sense. I'm 4 years old. Okay, that makes sense. He's not the only one. I remember early in my 20s, I started reading the work of Edgar Cayce. Is the name familiar to most of you? He's an author and a doctor who treated people by going into their past lives. Past lives. I remember not so long ago, 10 years ago, if I said the word reincarnation, whoa! What are you talking about? That's not true, that doesn't exist. But today, reincarnation is widely understood. We all know that we cannot learn everything about life in one lifetime. How can I learn to be a good guy? I can do that in one lifetime, but I cannot learn to be a bad guy at the same time. They just don't go together. How can I experience life as a woman or a man, or be limited by physical conditions? So we have to live several lives to experience all of these things. And this is how we learn. You see, when we pass away, when the body passes away, well, all the knowledge that we acquired stays. And we bring it back with us in the next life. But it's not readily accessible because it would interfere with what new stuff we have to learn. So God created human beings so that it could follow that progression. It could follow how each one of us evolves. That was the main purpose. So, evolving is a complicated process. Very complicated process. It's been slow for thousands and thousands of years, but now it's gaining speed. It's gaining momentum. And so, because it's gaining momentum, more people understand the concept of God within. They understand the concept of divinity. They understand the concept of being guided. So God, in His wisdom, He said, okay, it's time to increase the population of the earth. It was like this for the longest time, and now, whoa, it's going this way. All you have to do is Google. You know your cousin Google? Your cousin Google knows everything. So you go, Mr. Google, what's the population of the Earth at this time? And Mr. Google produces a graph. It produces numbers. And it's amazing how fast the Earth is populating right now. So there's a whole bunch of lost souls or old souls that are coming back into existence. Think of all the souls that died in the wars. Hundreds and thousands of people died uselessly before their time. The time has come for them to come back. The time has also come for brand spanking new souls to come onto this earth. I was thinking about that, and I thought, okay, what would it have been like the first time that I actually came down to earth, knowing absolutely nothing? Wow, what an adventure that would have been. We knew nothing about fire. We knew nothing how to survive on this planet. And here we are for the first time. And we see a herd of zebra running by, being chased by a lion, and the lion captures one of them. Oh, dinner. Delectable dinner for the zebra. But then I thought, I would be a delectable dinner for a lion also. So what do? We all found trees to climb into because subconsciously we knew a lion could not climb a tree. And until the lion was done eating the zebra, then it was safe to come down. So there was a movie on television about that. It was a I think the W5 production on stress. And they were showing how the herd of zebra was all stressed out when the lion showed up. And they all ran away until the lion caught one of them. And then stress was gone. It kept on grazing, and there is a lion in the background eating one of them. They are all thankful, oh, it wasn't my turn today. So, there is so much to learn. There is so much to think about. And I certainly have used many years of my life to do that. And today, I'm so happy that I can share the knowledge that I've accumulated. All I need to do is understand all that I can about life. That means that doesn't mean I understand everything. But what I can understand, I certainly can share. And this is why I'm talking to you today. And this is why I'm doing a workshop this afternoon, going deeper and deeper on that, in that understanding of why God created human beings and what's the big, big plan. I wish I had more time to speak, but my time is up. I will explain this afternoon how the doom and gloom of the world is useful. You wouldn't think so, but it is. All right?